The 10 Rules of New Orleans. The humidity hangs heavy in the air tonight, thick enough to choke on. It's a typical New Orleans night, which means it's anything but. I'm Officer Dubois, and I've been patrolling these streets for 15 years. I've seen things that would make a preacher renounce his vows and a hardened criminal weep. New Orleans ain't like any other city. It has rules, unspoken but deeply felt, and you break them at your own peril. Consider this your survival guide. Rule number 1: these old houses, the ones with the wrought iron balconies and the peeling paint, they have a sinister past etched into their very foundations. If you decide to take a ghost tour, and many do, for the love of God, do not wander away from the group. Those whispers you hear aren't just the wind. Stay close, follow the guide, and don't touch anything. Trust me, some things are better left undisturbed. Rule number 2: if you're walking the streets at night, especially in the Treme or the French Quarter periphery, and you hear chanting, a low, guttural hum that vibrates in your bones, run like hell. Don't look back. Don't try to be brave. Just run in the opposite direction. That's not a street performance. That's something ancient and hungry, and you don't want to be on the menu. Rule number 3: Bourbon Street is a whirlwind of lights and music, a sensory overload designed to distract. But even amidst the chaos, pay attention. If you're walking along and you see a street that is empty, dark, and eerily quiet, do not, I repeat, do not go down those streets. They're pockets of shadow, places where the fabric of reality thins. They will consume you, and you will never be seen again. Stay on the path, follow the light, and keep moving. Rule number 4: Mardi Gras is a hedonistic feast, a blurring of lines between revelry and madness. But when it's over, and the streets are littered with beads and regret, pay attention to the smell. If you smell rot, a cloying sweetness mixed with decay, you have overstayed your welcome. It's the city telling you to leave, to cleanse yourself of its influence. Ignore this at your own peril. Rule number 5: Bourbon Street attracts all sorts, living and otherwise. If a man in an old-fashioned suit, slicked back hair, and eyes that gleam with unnatural light approaches you and offers you everything you've ever wanted, all you could ever dream of having, do not accept it. It's likely the devil himself, making his rounds, tempting souls with promises he can't and won't keep. He'll take more than you're willing to give. Rule number 6: the graveyards here are above ground, cities of the dead baking under the unforgiving sun. If you're in a graveyard at night, especially one from the 19th century, bring holy water and a crucifix, and I mean a real one, blessed by a priest, not some tourist trinket. If you don't have those, then leave, turn around and never return. Rule number 7: there's a sweet, almost cloying smell that permeates the city, a mix of jasmine, decay, and something else, something indefinable. There's a reason the city smells the way it does, and do not ask the locals why. Some things are best left unknown. Trust me, you don't want to know. Rule number 8: the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway is a long, desolate stretch across the water. Do not, under any circumstances, get stranded on the causeway after 3 a.m. Just don't. We can't help you. The darkness out there is different, alive. Things move in the water. Things that shouldn't be. Rule number 9: this city is a melting pot of cultures, but some combinations are dangerous. Never trust anyone who claims to be a devout Catholic and a follower of voodoo at the same time. It's a contradiction, a lie masking something far more sinister. They serve only themselves. Rule number 10, and finally, the hardest to swallow: Hurricane Katrina wasn't an act of God, not in the way they told you on the news. It was God attempting to wash away the evil and rot that festers beneath the surface of New Orleans. It was partially successful. The flood cleansed some of the corruption, scattered some of the shadows, but the evil still lurks. It always will. So, watch your back, officer. Heed my warnings. New Orleans is a beautiful, vibrant city, but it demands respect. Disrespect it, and it will swallow you whole. Now, get back to work. The night is young, and the streets are waiting, and believe me, they're always waiting.